Be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready.
REDDY, resilience in my eyes, education, discipline, determination, and that's why.
Be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready.
Welcome to another episode of Ready Pipeline Podcast. Hey, I'm Coach Jay. Hey, you know how we do it. Warriors wake up, soldiers check in. What mission are we on today? And I'm here with my esteemed co-hosts.
You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Mr. Be Ready, Stay Ready, Already. It's me, Ted T. Hey, we're in the building, y'all. We're in the building. We back. We back in the studio. You know, we hadn't been together in a long time. We've
Been a minute.
We've been virtual, and he's been in Austin. I've been in Fort Worth, and so now we back. We back. But yeah. So what's been up, Mr. Coach J?
Well, you know we at
Hold on, Dr. Coach J.
Yes, sir. No problem. Appreciate you, man. It has been a full semester.
Yeah.
That's what we can say. It's been a full semester, and I know, you know, as we are talking about the education realm, we're talking about our community, we're talking about you know, the people and how we are growing and developing, and you know, and our children, and what that means, the village, the community means for the future and development of our children. We have come to another end of a semester. You know, when you're a parent, when you're an educator, when you know, say you're doing programming, you in the community, that you have a notion of when semester's in.
Yes, sir.
So we have come to the end of the fall 22 semester, man. Hey, a lot has happened. We have learned a lot. Both of us have stepped into some different arenas, some different positionings this year, man. And, you know, so we want to kind of chop it up about what we learned. What have we learned, man? So, Coach T, what have you learned, man? Ted, what have you learned in this semester? The new grounds, new space?
Well, you know, Coach J, things are pretty much, it's pretty much the same. I'm servicing the same students. You know, it's different faces. It's sort of like, okay, a remake of a movie. And when you do the remake of a movie, the characters stay the same, but it's different people playing the characters. So that's basically where I'm in that situation where, and not only with, you know, coming from another school, but I'm looking even back when we were in school. I see you have the same characters. Yeah. In education, you have the same characters. So I've now, don't get me wrong, I've just had to reestablish relationships. Like I had to go, you know, I came from a community where I had, you know, I won the community over. I was there for 12, 13 years. And so now I'm coming in, I have to kind of start a new foundation with relationships. So that's probably my only toughest task, is coming in with the relationships, and you know, parents don't know me, kids don't quite know me, but now they feel my heart, they see my heart. And so I'm in a good situation. I'm looking forward to this, you know, upcoming semester, but definitely before I look forward to going into the upcoming semester, I'm about to enjoy this vacation. I'm looking to enjoy this vacation. So for me, that was the thing, just building those relationships. How about yourself?
Man, I think you know, spending, you know, the last decade, you know, doing consulting and youth development training work from majority K-12 aspect, and then now doing some transitions into higher education. Interestingly enough, it's been kind of a confirmation on the importance of, you know, interesting enough, building pipelines, because you have students, and I think back, you know, from students from the elementary level to middle school level to high school level, and all these levels that I worked on. It's really a continuation of, you know, those levels into the higher education space. The notion of, you know, a elementary school a student, and the things that how we interact with them and how we engage them, and the need to develop them and pour into them and invest in them. Just because a student matriculates through middle school, high school, and even into higher education, those same needs are still critical, right? And that's one of the things that I definitely have, you know, been able to experience in higher education this year is seeing the same needs, kind of you see even, kind of one of the things I've always said is that when I'm able to engage youth, I can see into their spirit, I can see into their future, I can see their potential. And it's the same thing even in higher education, and you can see that inner child in them, and still they need that building up, they need that confidence boost. They need somebody to believe in them, just like, on the elementary school level, no matter what demographic, they need it. They need somebody to build them up. They need that village around them to raise them, to guide them, to protect them. So really understanding how all these aspects, or all of these levels of education, or levels of, childhood into adulthood, all these things truly connect, and the building of that pipeline is critical. That REDDY pipeline is extremely critical as we are working with youth, going from their childhood into their adulthood, building something that connects them together and protects their full potential development continues to be critical, man. And this semester has been definitely a confirmation, moving into higher education, that is critical, and we have to invest more time, energy, and resources into building those pipelines so that our youth can go from where they are to where they were created to become. And so that has been a big lesson and a big confirmation that I've learned, as I've moved into this space this year.
All right, so let our audience know what campus you're on.
Okay, so this year I am at the University of Texas at Austin. I am operating as a policy postdoctoral fellow in the Institute of Urban Research and Policy Analysis in the African and African Diaspora Studies department at UT Austin. So the opportunity that I have is to engage policy that affects the scholarly freedom and scholarly activity of scholars to be able to teach, from an ethnic aspect, to teach about concepts of racism, and really speak freely about how they develop young scholars in the higher education, and how policy, because there's policies that's happening at the state level and even in other states, and not so much the federal level, that is trying to jeopardize scholarly freedom, the ability for a teacher, even K-12 through higher education, to be able to discuss real life aspects of race and discrimination, and social interaction, and ways of thinking that are important for youth being able to develop their own critical thinking and understanding of the world that they live in. So from a policy perspective, I am in position to engage policy in that way. But at the same time, I also get an opportunity to lead a fellowship program, college student fellowship program, where they're learning about local policy, municipal policy, such as school board policy. Get a chance to help them with experiential learning and action, participatory action research that they do in learning, local policy, as well as teaching and writing. So I had a great opportunity to get engaged in this world, and it has been a phenomenal experience. And of course, I look at every experience as an opportunity to learn and grow. But I'm always looking at my background and thinking about how it links to my to where I am now. So it has been a phenomenal semester. Learned a lot. A lot of energy poured into it. Yeah. But I'm still here. We ready to go into the next one. But like you said, we're gonna take this break and we're gonna maximize and optimize that break.
Man, absolutely. And those that are out there that are educators, or work with kids, or work with the youth, I want you to take that time too. I mean, take that time. Read. Just and just polish your skills while you resting. I was a student that I couldn't take long breaks, because if I took a long break, it took me 3 times as long to get back on track. So I try to keep some type of podcast ready, pipeline podcast. I keep some type of podcast or some type of information. Something that I can abreast the education side of what I do. Yeah. But still I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna have a good time. My baby's graduating from Texas Tech, so we're gonna enjoy that. We go as a family. We go party and just have a good time, celebrate. Not only her, we have Texas Tech grad, and we have a Texas A&M Corpus Christi grad as well. So we got 2 graduates in the family. So we looking forward to this whole break and enjoying it. And I just want to say to you guys, like I said, stay abreast on your things on far as education wise, but get you some, get your workout in. I definitely, I'm a cardio guy. I'm a weightlifting guy. So that's sort of that's my safe haven. That's me keeping that self-care, being able to have self-care. So when I get ready, because I'm getting ready, and I'm always ready. I stay ready, but I got to get ready for this second semester,
Yeah,
and
gotta recharge.
Yeah, definitely have to recharge. And a lot of us, matter of fact, on my campus, what I'm working on now, when we come back, we go do the Biggest Loser. So that's just something for camaraderie, something, at the beginning of the year, everyone have all these New Year's resolutions, and, we always want to lose weight or, something healthy, fitness. So we kind of going to implement that. We're going to have fun with that. We got some other things. We got the basketball coming up. We got a league coming up. It's an incentive league. I'm big on enrichment. The enrichment side, it helps with behavior, it helps with attendance, it helps with parent involvement, it helps with just the day-to-day character traits of our students, just going day-to-day, just letting them know that they're a part of something that's bigger than them. And so I'm very, very big in that world of enrichment. And people always think, it's always about sports. No, enrichment. I even started a social media club on our campus. And so I push these things very hard the second semester because our kids tend to get lax. They start to get kind of tired. So we want to keep them focused, and that's what we use to keep our students focused. Something I came up with because I needed it as a kid. I needed something to keep me focused that second semester because especially once we all know this as educators, once you get around that spring break time, look, the teachers ready to throw in the towel, the students, the parents, everybody fighting amongst each other. You waiting on field day. So you know what? What we'll do, we'll start the semester off with sort of like a field day flavor, with the enrichment and keeping, the incentives of keeping your grades up, the incentives of having great citizenship, the incentives of keeping the school clean, having school pride. So it all comes together. So it's the sports, it's the cheerleading, as well as cheerleading / spirit team. What else we have? We have I even have the managers. Everybody I can pull into the program, I'm pulling them. So we got Black History Month program coming up. If you hadn't seen that, look on the YouTube channel. And hey, we do Black History Month program. We do it big. And so all those things are included with the enrichment because everyone, on the academic side, everyone don't excel as much as some as they would want to, but on the enrichment side they do, and it just give them an incentive. It just give them an incentive to want to do those things. So absolutely, but I'm a because guys, I talk a lot. But Coach Jay even helped us out, with the enrichment
absolutely.
program as well. So and I know he's seen the benefit. We talked about the benefit of our particular students, and that's part of what we do with our mentoring program. It's all connected. Enrichment and mentoring is all connected. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
No, I definitely, and I definitely, as we are talking to the village, we talking to the community, we talking to educators, we talking to parents, we talking to everybody that's a stakeholder in the raising, guiding, and protecting of the opportunity for our young warriors, our scholars, our youth to make it to the highest power and potential. I think everything that you said and what I would love to see, and I know that this thinking is something that's going on, is that everything that you talked about is a part of the academic, is a part of academic development. I think a lot of times when we think about enrichment, we think about, we put on the word extracurricular as though it is a peripheral activity or peripheral effort, but in actuality, it's a part of the foundational piece that it takes for a child to become what they need to become, because what you're doing is you are tapping into the geniuses of youth. I talked about this with somebody recently, that the concept of kinesthetic genius, when you're talking about sports, when you're talking about things that are active, that take action to engage. That is a huge aspect of many of our children's natural genius and ability. So tapping into that is really the corridor to what is going to spark them in every classroom, right? But if we're thinking about it in a way that we just kind of pushing it to the outside as opposed to connecting it, as a part of the prioritized approach to our youth, we often lose many of our youth because that's what strengthens them. That's what sparks them. Just the other day, I was at a school and they asked me to speak to a group of youth, and I just said, "Hey, you speak to them." And I just got up. I immediately knew, based on what I had observed, is that these are kinesthetic geniuses. These are young warriors with energy and fire. So immediately I had to go in full energy and spark them. Immediately I'm going, "How you feel?" I want to see that fire in you, because the fire represents the electricity, the energy, the power that they have naturally. If you can turn the lights on, then they can see and understand. There you go.
Right.
So if you can turn the lights on inside of them, then they can see what it is that you're trying to put in them. Yeah. So I think that paradigm shift, especially in the education space, from those that are educational leaders that are in positions where they can make decisions about curriculum and programming and scheduling and, really prioritizing everything that you said as a part of the culture of the school. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And not waiting for coaches to do, but it is. When you come in, that's something that we see. Oh, that's going on. So we get a little Mike engaged, little she involved. She loved it. So everybody's involved based on their strength, based on their learning style, their genius. And I think that's a phenomenal way to really spark those that we often lose and we kind of push to the side and label. Right. We got to put that as a part of their educational development, because that's where their natural genius lies. So I think that's phenomenal work that you talked about, Ted.
And hey, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to not only right now we're in two districts. We're in Fort Worth ISD and we're in Crowley ISD. So and that's here in Texas. If those that don't know or not familiar, in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, particularly Fort Worth, but the Tarrant County side. So we're looking to grow this thing. We're looking to come in and at one point, shout out to my man Dr. Shaw at Florence ISD. He's the superintendent out there. And so I remember him when I kind of first started doing this, and I was kind of explaining, I was talking to someone about it, and he was like, "Man, could you come to my campus and teach my stuff?" At the time, I didn't know, how to teach it. I just knew how to do it. It was sort of this thing. It's sort of like, when Big Mama cooking, Big Mama, she put a little bit of this and she put a little of that and this. Big Mama, how much salt I need to put in there? How much flour? How much, whatever starch I need to put? Baby, I don't know. I have no clue.
Just got a feel for it.
Yeah, you just got a feel for it. And so now, even just hooking up with Dr. J, he helped me with actually creating a system, a recipe. Putting things in place and saying, okay, this is what I knew what to do. I didn't know per se what to call it. He was like, "Oh, well, that's this and that's." He was giving the names. I'm like, "Oh, that's what I'm doing." Oh, okay, I'm doing something.
That's an approach, man.
Right. So, and I want to just really say thank you to Dr. J on that part. Just actually putting my actions, not only my actions in play, but putting it as a system, making it a system out of it. And we all come. Some teachers, you're gifted, but you can't teach someone your gift. And so it took someone like Coach J to come in and say, "Hey, break this down." This, basically putting it in curriculum form. And now we can take what we're doing and take it to this school, or take it to this school, take it to a district, take it to, what we're speaking that language and they understand what we're doing, versus saying, "Man, look, we got the kids doing this. They, look, they passing." Look, the behavior is right, instead of, we don't have to explain it because it's in black and white. We got tiers, we have things set up in place to let you know this is a system. This is not no flyby, just something that, somebody just sign up and we just want numbers. No, this is actually a system and something that we implement on campus, and we have not only ourselves, but we put other employees in place We include our teachers and parents. Everybody's included in this package deal, and we plant that seed. And not only do we plant that seed, we watch the seed grow, and then the seed grows from a flower to a tree to blossom, and you start to see the fruit of the labor that we put in. So, and definitely, I'm looking at a lot of you know what, I want to say from when I first started this, I have a couple of kids that are in college now, that's playing college sports, and some even just, students in college that went through our program when we were just kind of, taking flight and just figuring it out and just trying to, I remember one principal told me at this time they had switched, I think it was after school programs, they switched, and so they didn't want the program, they didn't want what we was doing. And they didn't want what we was doing, and I remember my principal saying, "Hey, coach, it looked like you kind of quit on us." I'm like, "Nah, that was my magic wand. You took my magic wand away from me." I said, it wasn't just because I was a man or just because I can say certain things. I said, no, I had something in place, and that's when I knew I had something. Yeah. When I saw that, I said, okay, we on to something. Yeah, it's time to put this to work. Time to put a system in play so we can present this to different campuses. And so I end up doing it free of cost. I said, you know what, don't pay me a dime, I'm gonna do it. And I end up, I linked up with a couple other schools that wanted to join in, and I'm talking about those wheels went back on the track, the things would start to go smooth, and I said, yeah, we're really, really on to something. So I'm really looking forward to the future of this. And not only here in DFW, taking it around the state of Texas, taking it around the Southwest region, and throughout the nation, taking what we do and actually implementing it on campuses and letting you see how your kids can benefit. Not only, like I said, the kids, but the kids, the school, the parents, the teachers, the whole community benefits from what we do. So I feel like I'm on the football field. I have that same confidence when I do this. When I'm in this element, like my confidence. It's not like I'm not saying I know it all, but I know this. Yeah, I know this. I know this.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, man. Like I say, that approach to engaging our youth needs to be prioritized, and I can't say it no more clear cut than that. Taking these different approaches as we look at education, and we still have some of the glaring issues with academic gaps and all these other terminologies that come out when we look at the scope and the metrics that characterize education. Well, if that is the case, and we still talking about this generations later, then our approach, our paradigm, our perceptions of how we engage it has to shift based on the what it's going to take to fully spark and engage the youth that we are working with, and specifically and distinctly the youth that people are saying that need the most help, or on the back end of the learning achievement gap from our black students, African American students. Some of these approaches have to be distinct for them because they have distinct backgrounds and histories and ancestral heritage that has to be accounted for in their development. So using these distinct approaches has to become prioritized, and not just looking at the numbers on such and such. Right. No, it's not a number. This is a personality. This is they have a spirit. They have, they have needs. They have, understanding. They have vision. They have potential. All these things have to be accounted for when we look at education. And one of the things that I want as we go into this break, and like you said, we moving into, people are going to be doing vision boards, and we're going to have resolutions. One of the parts of the resolution is looking at how we are going to shift your paradigm. You're an educator, you're an administrator, you in executive position. How are you, with taking on a new, we leap into the new year. How are we going to leap into this new opportunity as the village, as those that are in position to raise the next generation? What is going to be our new resolution and approach to the development of our children?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
So that's the challenge. That's what I'm putting on the table. What is the vision board? What's on the vision board for the new approach, for the way that we're gonna shift and revolutionize, the concept of education and development and growth and learning for our children as they are meant to be, greatest and beyond measure powerful. So, man, hey, it's all a lot to think about.
It's a lot to think about, and I know, some educators that I've worked with in the past, still, come from that approach of when they were young. Like, kids ain't the same no more. This, that, you're right. Even, the whole thing of dress for success, that I don't even think that exists anymore. Like, you have,
it's a new world.
You looking at a whole new world. Like, people don't wear suits. I remember going to church and the pastor would have a robe on. Yeah. And if you see somebody, a pastor with a robe on now, you'll be looking like, what the,
Yeah, that's few and far between.
You all right?
Yeah.
And not only that, if they went from the robe to, the suits to now, some wear a polo, they come up there with T-shirts and sneakers on. Like, it's just, so the time we live in, it's a lot different from what it was 20 years ago. It's a lot different from what it was 10 years ago. And so your approach, you may have to be a little hip hop. You may have to listen to the music a little more.
Yeah.
You might have to get in tune to the pop culture.
Yeah.
Not because you want to be cool, because you want to connect. Like I have to find out what's the certain slang words. Things is moving a little faster than it did in the past. So what's a slang word today? Tomorrow it won't exist. It is on to something else. And so, but back to the dress to success part is, I'm looking at millionaires. I'm looking at people that we deem successful that don't wear hard bottom shoes. You look at your Mark Cubans. You look at your Jay-Z. I mean, I can just go on and on. These guys are just they dress down and they still go to the office. They still do. Steve Jobs when he was living. Just all black. It's different.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I that same approach should be brought into the school. Yeah. Now I'm not saying let your students come in with sagging pants or teachers should come. No, I'm just saying like just look at your approach just a tad bit different. Just don't stay on your pedestal of this. We didn't do it this way. Yeah. Our parents didn't do it the way that we did it. We were deemed as crazy, like y'all out there.
They out of control.
Yeah, rap music was the devil, hip hop was the devil. I can't believe, how is hip hop the devil when hip hop only took the old soul and R&B music and looped it and just rapped over it. It's your music and it's just, we remixed it. And so that's basically what's going on right now. The youth have remixed what we done, they remixed it. It's still what it is. It's still, the foundation is still there. But they just kind of remixing. You need to just get with the remix. Yeah. It's the remix, y'all. It's the remix.
No, I think you make a great point, man. And I think one of the misunderstandings that this notion of institutionalized education has been a part of the cause of this is that many of us as adults, and we call ourselves grown, but we think because you have a beginning grade and an ending grade, or ending degree or whatever. There's a time block, and you go through these different phases that when you get to the end of it, education stops. We have a thought process that we educated and there's no more education, but actually education is a lifelong commitment, a process that happens. So when things change and shift, especially when you are in position to continue to educate the next generation, your education does not stop. It only intensifies. You got to keep learning. Yeah. You got to keep adjusting. You got to be more on your learning than the people you teach.
Right. Exactly.
You can't get stuck in what happened in 96.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you in 2022, because it limits your ability to help the next generation be able to critically think about how they must navigate the systems that they got to go out and live in.
Right.
So it becomes dangerous for us to say, well, no, we ain't doing like I ain't doing. No, well, you are limiting their ability to navigate the future that, hey, you won't be able to protect them from.
Right.
Right? So it's critical that as educators, that administrators, that we intensify our concept of education. And that's every message that comes in through the sensory, from what we see to what we hear to what we engage, you know, how we move. All of this becomes a part of our education, and we
Right.
utilize that experience,
Yes.
right, to bring it to the minds of the next generation.
Man, you hit it on the nose. Because look, you come up to me, students come. I'm looking for a book. First of all, they don't even look for books no more because everything is Google.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
over here talking about the Dewey Decimal System. Get this number, write this number down, and you go up there. You got to go up there and look for the
Yeah.
book. Look, it don't exist anymore. You know, it's like we just said, the same information. The book that they're looking for, yeah, it was a book. Now you can find the same book online. Now it's an audio book.
yeah,
Now it's, you know, same book.
Yeah.
But it's a different way of reading the book, a different way getting to the book.
Yeah.
And so, and that's what we're talking about. It's the remix. It's the same thing. You just do it just a little bit different. You know, it's the world a little bit faster. You know, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to get left behind as long as you're learning.
Yeah.
As long as you become
Absolutely.
a lifelong learner. Your phone. You trust me. You update your phone.
Yeah.
You need to update yourself just like you update your phone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely,
You know, certain apps updates,
Yeah.
and things you see things getting a little faster. So update yourself.
That's right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're not gonna get left behind. You won't get called foolish. Look, you're cool. You'll be a cool teacher. You know. No, you in there, man. I'm kidding around, but definitely
It's critical.
Yeah,
man.
it is. It
Yeah.
is. But hey, we gonna get ready to close this thing. You know, close it out.
Man.
We gonna
Hey,
close
I
out.
love it, man. Yeah, no doubt, man. No, this has been a phenomenal opportunity to engage the community, our people, man. I think we're looking forward to a phenomenal second semester, spring 2023. But I definitely want everybody to take, you know, the break seriously in that, you know, take time to recharge, to rejuvenate, to kind of ponder on some things that, you know, that may have happened, or different decisions or actions that was taken. I want you to think through it, kind of process, you know, where we are, process some of the engagement, some of the interactions. But at the same time, it's some things that you got to release. We got to release some things that happened. Got to forgive, you know, forgive yourself for the actions you did or didn't take, so that we can go into the new year, the new opportunity, fresh, ready to take things to another level with a new mind, a new perspective, upgraded version of ourselves, trying to move and pursue that most powerful version of ourselves, so we can bring that power within ourselves out into and spark the next generation to be their most powerful selves, man, because that's what we must do as a village, man, as a people that are in a position of responsibility to grow and develop those that we lead and feed and count on us to be everything that we were created to be. Hey, this has been Ready Pipeline. Hey, and this is Coach J, Dr. Juichi, Bo Money. Hey, you know how we do it, man. Warriors wake up, soldiers check in. What mission are we on? Let's go get it. Zah. Ooh.
Yes, sir. I want you to be ready. I want you to stay ready, and I want you to be all ready. It's me, Ted T. We out.